Alexander the Great was born in Pella, the capital of the Kingdom of Macedon, in 356 BCE. He was the son of King Philip II, a powerful and ambitious ruler. Alexander's mother was Olympias, a woman of fierce spirit and noble lineage. From a young age, Alexander displayed remarkable intelligence and ambition. Recognizing his son's potential, King Philip II hired the renowned philosopher Aristotle to be Alexander's tutor. For 3 years, Aristotle instructed Alexander in philosophy, literature, science, and politics. Aristotle's teachings had a profound impact on Alexander, shaping his worldview and instilling in him a lifelong love of learning. As a teenager, Alexander already demonstrated exceptional courage and military skill. At the age of 16, he led a Macedonian cavalry charge to victory against a rebellious Thracian tribe. Alexander's relationship with his father was complex and often strained. Philip was a dominant figure, and Alexander chafed under his control. However, he also learned a great deal from his father about warfare and leadership. This education would prove invaluable when Alexander himself became king. In 336 BCE, at the age of 20, Alexander's life changed forever when his father, King Philip II, was assassinated. The circumstances surrounding Philip's death were murky, and some suspected that Olympias and Alexander were involved. However, no evidence ever emerged to support these claims. Despite his youth, Alexander quickly moved to secure his position as King of Macedon. He ruthlessly eliminated any potential rivals and swiftly dealt with rebellions in Thrace and Thebes. With his kingdom secure, Alexander could turn his attention to his father's ultimate ambition, the conquest of the Persian Empire. Assembling a formidable army comprised of Macedonians and Greek allies, Alexander crossed the Hellespont into Asia in 334 BCE. This marked the beginning of his legendary campaign of conquest that would last for over a decade and change the course of history. Alexander, the young king of Macedon, was determined to make his mark on the world. Alexander's invasion of the Persian Empire was not an act of unprovoked aggression. The Persians, under Darius III, had launched 2 previous invasions of Greece. For centuries, the Greeks had viewed the Persians as their greatest enemy. Alexander skillfully used this historical grievance to rally the Greek city-states to his cause. Alexander's army, though smaller than the Persian forces, was highly disciplined and well-trained. His soldiers were equipped with the latest military technology, including the sarissa, a long pike that gave the Macedonian phalanx a significant advantage in battle. The Macedonian army, forged in the fires of countless battles, was a force to be reckoned with. Alexander's first major victory came at the Battle of Granicus River in 334 BCE. There he faced a large Persian army led by local satraps. Alexander's daring charge across the river, despite being heavily outnumbered, broke the Persian lines and secured a decisive victory. This victory sent shockwaves throughout the Persian Empire, establishing Alexander as a formidable opponent. Following his victory at Granicus River, Alexander continued his relentless advance eastward. He liberated the Greek cities of Ionia along the Aegean coast, further cementing his image as a liberator. However, his ultimate goal lay further east, the heart of the Persian Empire. In 331 BCE, Alexander faced the Persian king Darius III at the Battle of Gaugamela, near modern-day Mosul, Iraq. This was to be one of the most significant battles in history. Darius had assembled a massive army, drawn from all corners of his vast empire, determined to crush the Macedonian upstart. The Battle of Gaugamela was a testament to Alexander's military genius. He skillfully outmaneuvered the larger Persian army, exploiting gaps in their formations and using his cavalry to devastating effect. The Macedonian phalanx, a wall of shields and pikes, proved an insurmountable obstacle for the Persian infantry. Darius, witnessing the destruction of his army, fled the battlefield. The Persian Empire, once the mightiest force in the world, lay shattered before Alexander. Alexander's success on the battlefield was no accident. He was a brilliant strategist and tactician who understood the importance of speed, maneuverability, and decisive action. Unlike many commanders of his time, Alexander led from the front. inspiring his troops by his personal courage and charisma. He was always willing to share their dangers and hardships. Alexander's army was a well-oiled machine, capable of remarkable feats of endurance and discipline. He recognized the importance of logistics and supply lines, ensuring that his army was always well provisioned. He also understood the psychology of warfare, using propaganda and psychological tactics to demoralize his enemies and win over local populations. However, Alexander's greatest strength lay perhaps in his ability to adapt to different enemies and terrains. From the plains of Persia to the mountains of Bactria and India, he consistently outmaneuvered and outfought his opponents. He was a master of both set-piece battles and siege warfare, a testament to his versatility as a commander. Section 6. Beyond the battlefield, building an empire. Alexander's ambitions extended far beyond simple conquest. He envisioned a vast empire that transcended cultural and geographical boundaries. He sought to create a world where Greeks and Persians could live together in peace and prosperity. To achieve this vision, Alexander adopted a policy of cultural fusion. He encouraged intermarriage between his Macedonian soldiers and Persian women. He adopted Persian customs and attire, a move that shocked some of his more conservative Macedonian companions. Alexander also founded numerous cities throughout his empire, many of which bore his name, Alexandria. These cities became centers of trade and cultural exchange, spreading Greek language and culture throughout the East. Alexander's vision of a unified empire was ultimately cut short by his untimely death. However, his brief reign had a profound impact on the course of history. He ushered in a new era of cultural exchange and intellectual ferment known as the Hellenistic period. This era saw the fusion of Greek, Persian, and Egyptian cultures, creating a vibrant and cosmopolitan world. Section 7. The world at his feet, Alexander's legacy. By the time of his death in 323 BCE, Alexander the Great had conquered an empire stretching from Greece and Egypt in the west to the Indus River in the east. He had toppled the mighty Persian Empire and made himself master of much of the known world. His name became synonymous with military genius, ambition, and boundless energy. Alexander's conquests had a profound and lasting impact on the world. The Hellenistic period, which followed his death, witnessed an unprecedented flourishing of art, literature, science, and philosophy. The spread of Greek language and culture throughout the East facilitated trade and intellectual exchange. Alexander's legacy, however, is a complex one. While he was undoubtedly a brilliant military commander and visionary leader, he was also ruthless and ambitious. His conquests came at a high cost in human life and suffering. The debate over his legacy continues to this day, with some hailing him as a hero and others condemning him as a tyrant. Section 8. A life cut short, Alexander's untimely demise. In 323 BCE, at the age of 32, Alexander the Great fell ill in Babylon. The exact nature of his illness remains a mystery, with theories ranging from malaria to typhoid fever to poisoning. After 11 days of agonizing pain, Alexander succumbed to his illness. Alexander's death sent shockwaves throughout his vast empire. He left no clear heir, and his generals, known as the Diadochi, soon began to quarrel amongst themselves over control of his vast domains. The empire that Alexander had so painstakingly built was torn apart by civil war, eventually fragmenting into a number of smaller kingdoms ruled by his former generals. Despite his untimely death, Alexander's legend continued to grow. He became a mythical figure celebrated in literature, art, and folklore throughout the ages. His story served as an inspiration to countless rulers and military commanders who sought to emulate his brilliance and ambition. Section 9. The man who would be a god, Alexander's enduring impact. Alexander the Great's legacy continues to fascinate and inspire people today. He remains one of the most recognizable figures from antiquity, his name synonymous with military prowess, ambition, and the pursuit of glory. His story has been told and retold countless times, each generation finding new meaning and relevance in his extraordinary life. Alexander's impact on the world is undeniable. He bridged the East and West, spreading Greek culture and ideas throughout his vast empire. He left behind a legacy of cultural exchange and intellectual ferment that shaped the course of Western civilization. Whether viewed as a hero, a villain, or something in between, there is no denying that Alexander the Great was one of the most consequential figures in human history. His story continues to resonate today, reminding us of the power of ambition, the allure of conquest, and the enduring legacy of a life lived on an epic scale.